Hello, I'm Frank Fellers, the owner of Fellers. We're the world's largest wrap supply company, and we carry a lot of scrapers. And I'm really fortunate to have Justin Pate here. He's the world's leading wrap trainer. Justin, why is it important to have a scraper in your wrap tool chest?
Well, as much as, it's fun putting graphics on, part of the deal is you have to get those graphics off, whether it's cut vinyl or wraps on cars or windows and stuff like that. So having plastic scrapers, again, lots of different styles, not just one, is really beneficial because, again, they're not super expensive, but they really help speed up the removal process. So like right now you carry ones that come with a cover, chemical resistant ones that you put on handles, replaceable ones. Again, the most famous one, little chiseler, you can hold it while it's still wet, great stuff. But again, having these in your tool bag and again, having backups, I'm telling you, if you don't have them, it's going to really add up to your removal time, and you don't want that. So it takes off old graphics and adhesive.
Yeah, and we carry a lot of them. You kind of got to experiment to see which one is important and works for you. Justin's going to go over all those. Justin, I really appreciate you being here and telling us about these tools.
My pleasure. It's great stuff.
There are a wide variety of scrapers to choose from, and they all should be in your tool bag as they serve a variety of different purposes. This one from Lidco has a nice hard sharp edge, and again it's comparable to the blue one. Both are chemical resistant. White is stiffer. The green one is not chemical resistant, but it has a nice cover that comes with it, and you can see the blue is much more flexible. So again, you should have all three in your bag for different types of situations. Here's the famous little chiseler, and very popular, and it has that little button in the middle, so in case your hand gets wet, you won't lose your grip. And it has a wide variety of edges to choose from rounded to flat and sharp. Again, this is mainly used by tinters, so again, very popular within the tint world, but also can be used for taking off adhesive and vinyl. Here you have the Yellow Tools Yellow Blade, and again, this is great by itself. Again, very hard, sharp edge. One is pointy, one is round, and again, variety of different angles that you can choose from. It also comes with the Yellow Blade handle. Scrapers come in particularly handy when doing car wraps, whether for full print or for color change. When the emblems are taken off, a lot of double-sided tape is left behind. Sometimes it's minimal, sometimes there's a lot. So spray it with this adhesive remover, let it get soft, and then come in with a plastic scraper. In this case, it's a scraper right. Always try to work in short movements and stay within the bounds of the double-sided tape. Keep it low and flat. For areas that have wider double-sided tape, it's a good idea to switch scrapers. In this case, this is the Lidco scraper that has a protective cover. This means that it won't get beat up in the tool bag, so it stays sharp. This makes for a very quick removal, and you can see by the wide edge, you can really work it back and forth so you get a wider area quicker and more effective. For sections of double-sided tape that are very long, let's say on the back of this truck or on spoilers, it's best to use the Yellow Blade with the handle. Again, the installer can use more torque to remove the double-sided tape and keep it low and flat and steady. This saves a lot of energy over the course of the removal. Then, with the top layer taken off, sometimes it's best to switch scrapers as if the substrate has a slight curve. This is when you should switch to a different squeegee. In this case, going back to the Lidco, it's extra wide, and because it can handle the soft curve, it takes off more of the adhesive quicker. Again, also think about modern day paint. If it's stiff and hard, it might affect the curve and scratch the paint. With the Lidco, it conforms easily and comes off quickly. Also, what's the benefit of using plastic scrapers, especially in this case taking graphics off the window, is that the plastic scraper is extremely effective, keeps it low and flat, but it's also safe for glass. If the blade comes at a certain angle, it won't scratch the glass, very important, and here, if it goes too deep, it won't scratch the plastic base of the windshield wiper. So again, plastic is always safe, especially around vehicles. Plastic scrapers also come in very handy when trying to start an edge during removal. Instead of using your blade, which can always scratch, use the plastic scraper instead. It's just as effective, and it won't scratch the paint. Extremely important. So right here on the door handle, an edge is caught, lifted up, and removed. Same thing on the door handle. Again, it takes just as much time to use the scraper as a knife, and obviously the scraper is much better. When graphics are cooked on a vehicle and you have to remove large sections, look how tedious and slow it can be if using your fingers. So instead of using fingers, simply heat a large section and then come in with a scraper right or any other type of scraper and remove the vinyl quickly and efficiently. It's always very important to maximize the edge of the scrapers or have backups. In this case of the Yellow Blade, this edge is worn down, and with the scraper right, it's worn down as well. In the case of the Yellow Blade, you can simply twist the Allen wrench, loosen it, flip it, and now you got a nice, hard, clean, straight edge. In the case of the scraper right, you simply have to just go into the replacement pack, pull out a new blade, and then swap it out for the old one. So again, this keeps the installer removing as opposed to having to clean everything by hand. Backups are critical. And a couple quick tips for scrapers is that once the edges are worn out and can't be effectively used for adhesive removal, they can be used as plastic removal tools, like in this case on the refrigerator. And avoid throwing the scrapers directly in the tool bag loose. The edges can get dinged and nicked up by other tools in there, making them ineffective, so it's best to place them all in a Tupperware container. The Tupperware container not only protects the edges from getting banged up, but all the scrapers are in one place, so when the installer needs different varieties, he can quickly grab the one he needs as opposed to searching for them. And recycling is always the name of the game today, so not only are you going to recycle your newspaper and your bottles in your wrap shop, you can also recycle your plastic scrapers. So once they get old and beat up, make sure you just don't throw them in the trash, recycle them. It's always a good idea to have a wide variety of scrapers in the tool bag as it leads to quick removals and prep. And scrapers come in handy for all types of signage, whether you're doing walls, windows, floors, or vehicles. And by using plastic instead of metal, it's not only safe for the substrate, but the installer as well. And having backups always pays for itself as it keeps the installer removing and on the job.